Good morning. We could do this in all silence, but some people feel that's a little too weird to teach in silence, so we'll talk a little bit today. We start out with just taking a quick moment of inner reflection. I can see what I'm thinking. I can see the thoughts that go, oh, yeah, I'm thinking this, I'm thinking that. I can see what I'm feeling. Loving this day. Really pissed about that. I can see what my body's doing. My senses, its urges. I'm hungry. There's that delicious sandwich waiting for when group is done. I can see these things going on in me. What is the part of me that can see the rest of me? And in short, in mindfulness, we call that awareness. It's above the brain, the emotions, and the body. And I say above not in a hierarchy, like better. It's outside of, it's big enough to see all the rest of us put together, including our own awareness. So mindfulness is about waking up to become aware of our awareness. So for just a moment, let's just sit and what is that part of me that can see what the other parts of me are doing? How do I get there? How do I stay there? Just muse. Okay, so I did mention, I think we live stream the first portion of this and then I'll turn that off for more personal discussion, so just saying. Mindfulness is all about simplicity. It often progresses our lives towards a more simple living, but it's about also simplicity in our thought and all our paradigms that hold our reality together. It's a constant streamlining to bring us to peace. And why any one of us choose to turn towards it, who knows? But here it is, and if you take to it, okay. If not, okay. In this space of awareness, we can look back to Lao Tzu and the Tao, written around 500 BC, Buddha, written around 500 BC. People have been exploring this awareness and mindfulness for a while, and they have very similar conclusions. It's that there is, or we can create, a place of peace in us that's quite different than how the normal world mind with all its worries and frantic goals operates. And there's been many practices developed to help us move in that direction. A current teacher that's available, his teachings are, he's no longer available, is Thich Nhat Hanh from over in France, a Vietnamese monk that was exiled. Another form of it is Eckhart Tolle, who has quite a bit more complicated thinking associated with his, but some people take to that. The point being, there's lots of teachers out there. My question to myself has to be, do I want to go to peace? And giving the assumption, well, maybe I do, mindfulness in the end reduces to such a simple practice. And it goes like this. Oh, I could be at peace instead of, ah. Okay, I could be at peace. I remember. Next, I begin choosing. Yeah, I think I'd be better off if I went to peace. Maybe, maybe not. That little phase can take anywhere from 1 second to say 2 years, maybe 60 years. Because there may be things in me I don't even realize I'm still doing that drag me out of my peace. So we have this indefinite window for step 2, beginning to choose I'd rather be at peace. Step 3 is when I finally say, all right, enough of this. I want my peace. And I make a deep decision. And step 4 is opening up to something outside of the pattern that's running. What I think that something else is can be whatever we want it to be. I call it awareness, that my awareness is bigger than my brain and emotions and old patterns, old reactions. And I say, a little help, please. If I go back and reference the Tao and Buddha, they both say that this help is available. That one of the qualities of our awareness is it can hold a clear vision in us. All right, I see what I'm doing here. My mind is crazy. And my emotions are nuts. They want to hate and kill and stab, and they're nasty. Just holding awareness will begin transforming us. Now that's kind of a new concept for many minds who are so used to say, well, I got to do something. I got to learn how to change my mind, how to change my emotions. Well, mindfulness says all those things help, but awareness alone, by just looking and realizing that is crazy, I'd be better off if that wasn't there anymore, allows awareness to begin to transform our mental patterns and our emotional patterns that are stored in our subconscious. I have experienced this many times now. A couple big episodes where after some months of working, suddenly no, I'm done with that. And it just felt like something melted. Now I still get occasional, not very often, old memories, something will trigger it, and it's like, I could react like that again. It's like, nah, not interested. That's how awareness and mindfulness begin to bring us to peace. It's not a magic installation with a little fairy wand, where suddenly I discover a secret thought or process and voila, I'm in bliss forever. There's teachings that try to sell that because they're good money makers, but I have never found that to be the case. And the other serious teachings I've followed suggest that's not the case also. We will get moments of new awareness, new peace like we've never experienced before. So deep, so sweet. And just love them up when you get them. But don't be sad the day they go away again, because what remains in us, in our reactive nature, must come to surface in order to also be transformed, so we know more peace. So what we get is, over time, we learn what our peaceful awareness is. We learn to choose to head back towards it quicker. and we get more times in it. So we spend our day happily doing whatever we're doing. And yeah, I could worry about that. Don't need to right now. Back to peace. So that's why the Tao is called the Tao. It's a way. That's what the word means. The way of living that might be better. So what is our awareness? Well, another thing about mindfulness is it's all about personal experience. It's not about me telling you what your awareness is. I can point to some things. We can give you experiences and examples we've had. But in the end, growth with mindfulness is all about our own personal experience. It's not wrapped around any framework or doctrine or anything. We can use it with any other thought, form, belief, or doctrine we want to. But awareness itself is kind of a thing of its own. It's just, I'm here. I see all this going on in me. I see all this going on in the world. It can stay present with whatever's going on with practice. Oh, I see this crazy, it's insane, it's horrible. I don't need to retract from it. I don't have to stay there with it either, but that reactive need to retract away from life begins to diminish. So here I am in awareness. Well, a curious thing about it is it's curious. It's part of our inner nature for me. What is going on here? Why would they do that? What's going on in here? Why do I do that? But it's an open-minded curiosity, not to get an answer. And I often call that musing. Just, what is this going on within or without? Another attribute of it that we will find is it sees in beauty a lot. It may just be sitting here, and suddenly that drum is so beautiful. I never noticed that before. A person I see, like, they're so awesome. Look at you. What's going on for you? And just trying to give a flavor of what awareness state is like for many people. And the signifying characteristic that I use as a reference is it always wishes well. You're being a bit crazy, but I wish well for you. I hope you get that sorted soon for you. In the meantime, it might have to lock you up, but underneath, I'm staying in this space of awareness of I wish you well. I don't hate you. I don't want you punished. I don't want you destroyed. I may want to see some of your behavior contained if you happen to be an insane president or such, but there's still that quality of I wish you well from the state of awareness. So for me, that has become a key. That is the key for my simple little practice of, oh, I could be at peace. What does peace mean? Oh yeah, it's that state where I'm happily present with whatever. I'm wishing it well. I want to return to that state. The mind initially and frequently wants to get to a peace of like, leave me alone, I'm going to my cabin. That's a step towards peace. It's a good step. We need to do that sometimes frequently. But there's a deeper peace in mindfulness of if I'm stuck out here in this world, in a situation, all right, let me become at peace with it right now, not wait for the future, not give in to my reactions for a while longer. That's the kind of peace that mindfulness is pointing at, that's available. And as it grows in us through our own experience, and we see, wow, last time something like that happened, I went nuts. And this time I just thought, yeah, same old crazy, and yeah, I don't feel up to reacting to it today. Oh, something's different. That's way different. Wow. Now you've had an experience of when I say awareness can transform us. See, it's that moves us forward with this, it's called awakening in many traditions, to our awareness and the power it has to reform our life. So, for a lot of people, as they begin to wake up to their awareness, they may not know any of these words about it, but a crazy lady in the city suddenly decides, I want to go live off in the woods with a bunch of crazies and be out of the system. Something woke up. Your mind wants a different form of peace, a different way of life. And the trend in awakening is to go towards more simple. We have been so indoctrinated, so we will be good slaves and make good money for the capitalists, that life is all about production, being creative in a way that makes somebody else money. So working a nice 9-to-5 job, plus doing all the stuff I got to do at home to maintain it, and I'm in this constant hyper state of I have to get something done, I got to get more done. And it's very common with awakening that the mind just one day spontaneously says, enough of that. And then you got to wrestle with feeling guilty because you've been programmed that you've got to be a good, productive parent, citizen, whatever. And that's where awareness comes in. With each step of awakening, I can look. All right, what's my current beliefs? My programs? Oh, I need to be productive. Well, how about deer or monkeys? How much do they worry about being productive? Or woodchucks? I mean, when they're in the mood to dig a hole, they go at it full force. That dirt's flying for hours. And then suddenly they're laying over in the sun doing nothing for hours. Oh, well, as it simplifies, being productive comes back to my own sense, not what I've been told. When I want to get out there and do something, yeah, I'm going to go do it and enjoy the heck out of it. And when I'm done doing it, I'm going to set it down and go do what I want to do next. That's a form of simplicity because we've stepped out of the programs in our mind of how it has to be, the structure that binds me to a certain mode of living. It's much more simple to just relax, find my peace. Here I am in my peace. Yeah, it's okay. I see the crazy world. It's okay that it's there. What do I want to do now? And from my simple peace, I know. And that can be a struggle for a good span of this adventure. The programming is so deep. It started before daycare. The whole education system was built to beat us into shape. You will sit still 6 hours a day and recite what I tell you to learn and recite. Then you will go home and do homework, and then you'll do your chores. And we've been programmed to the max and don't know it. So a lot of awakening is to learn to look within and say, wait a minute, is that so? Must that be like that? Can it be simpler, easier? And only we can answer those questions. We like to hang out together when we tend to get on this path with each other and say, yeah, it's okay, you're not crazy. But in the end, then you have to wonder if I'm crazy for telling you you're not crazy, and you're back to worrying about sorting yourself again. So, yeah, in the end, we need to make our own final decision for our peace and from our peace. And then just find other happy crazies to hang out by because it's more fun or easier. So as we allow awakening to proceed, and it's purely at our own choice, we decide if we want to, maybe, I'm going to stay in this career for another 10 years. Okay. How can I be peaceful within this framework I've chosen? See, it's awareness of what I'm doing, that I'm making this choice, rather than, no, I don't have enough in my IRA for retirement and I gotta make this system work for me for another 10 years. And now I'm gonna spend 10 years in stress instead of 10 years happily playing with whatever career I choose. It's seeing that difference, learning that difference all the time, and choosing, I can take the peaceful way through this. Oh, really? Mom might not like that. Okay, Mom, you can not like it. I'm going to still go. It's freeing our mind from the programming and learning who we are. What do I really want to do? Just from myself, not from what everybody else and all these self-help books. They crack me up because I took that path for a while of trying to learn from them. And they're like, oh, you should be like this, you should be more like that, you should stop doing this, you shouldn't be. And it's like, they were no help at all, except eventually pointing out that they were pointless because there's 8.2 billion different opinions on how life should work. Only you know yours. But when you know yours in peace, chances are everyone else is going to be able to relate in peace to your way of peace. That's how the cool thing of how it all works together. We have right now 5 people here with ideas of wanting to lead a peaceful life. But yet what we're going to do with our time is very different. I have no need to try and be an organizer like Angel Anna, or an artist like Barb, or whatever. I haven't known you two that well yet. But I don't need to worry about it or wonder. That's simple. That's easy. I just have learned to trust the peace in me. And I use it as a reference with that, I wish you well. All right, am I actually feeling that? Kinda. Okay, that's good enough for now. I can see it's there. Yeah, peace. Anyway, when I'm feeling it, when I'm able to feel that, I wish you well, I know that the choices I make from there are going to be better for me than the choices I make from my frantic mind and emotions. So that's what awareness and mindfulness offer. Like I said, the root of it's very simple. I'm going to get to or create a place of peace. I remember, oh yeah, that's what I was going to do. Let me choose. I'd say I want to be in my peace. I really do. No, I don't. I really do. I like being pissed about this. I want to be. Step 2, making the choice. Step 3, all right, enough of that. Where's my peace? A little help, please. Get me there. And remembering it's identifying key characteristic is I wish you well, which is a version of the Buddhist accepting what is. That's what it is right now. We got this government we got right now. All right, I don't like it. I would change it. I will do everything I can. But I'm not going to be out of my peace and frothing and ranting all day. I just take a little hour or so every night to rant about it on Facebook. But I do it on purpose. I accept Okay, it is what it is. What do I want to do with it consciously? So that's it, the core of mindfulness. Thoughts, questions, experiences, examples?
I thought it was interesting because you mentioned, I like being pissed at this.
Mm-hmm.
And that was something in recent years I've learned and then learned about myself, is there's an addiction to the stress,
Mm-hmm.
to the anxiety.
Yeah.
So if everything is going well, for just some reason I didn't do anything, I'm looking for reasons or ways to be stressed
Yeah.
out.
Yeah, the subconscious will begin creating them. It's amazing to watch, both in ourselves and others. Cool, good awareness. Yeah, awareness has been in us all along. Mindfulness is just beginning to deliberately turn to that aspect that's always been a part of it. It's part of what human life is. Everybody's got it. Like we've got breath, we're breathing. We just haven't been aware of our awareness, perhaps. So, good example.
Something that came up for me was, it's like how much different would we be if, personally in my journey, if like a parental figure, and forgive them for they do not know,
Mm-hmm.
but if they would have taught me how to be aware in the emotions that we
Mhm.
feel, the anger, the sadness, like there
Mhm.
was no recognition or education on that at all. So if we were feeling something, then you just gotta deal with it by yourself.
Yep.
But if someone would just teach me that when I was a kid, that would be
Mhm.
wonderful. Like just be in it, just focus and
Yeah.
aware and let it be like a cloud or something. But there was no words or anything about
No.
that, no teachings about that.
And that's what, when teachers refer to the unconsciousness of humanity in the world, that's what that is. Unconscious to the fact awareness and love are there to help our life be a lot better. And yeah, I was pissed for years about that too, that my parents never taught me this. Yeah.
Mhm.
So, yeah. And, well, I mean, look at Denzel.
Oh yeah, he's like a clean slate for me, and like
Yeah.
I do everything that my parents didn't do
Right.
for me.
And we see the result.
Yeah.
This beautiful little light just floating around your little Buddha. You know?
Yeah.
Yes, I wish I had been taught
Mhm.
that early on. I wasn't. I was taught to be a white supremacist patriarch, and you know, hate everybody in the world was stupid. Is how our childhood went. Took a few years to untangle all that. So.
Mhm.
How do you feel this kind of is impacted, I guess, with the group dynamic as well? Like, do you feel like there's almost like a group awareness, or I guess because it's kind of a, do you feel like it's kind of a shared awareness at times, being in a group, or?
Yes, at two levels. I like that question, thank you. For some reason, when we get together in groups, it helps each of us open our own awareness more. I don't speculate on all the myriad of cosmic laws that explain that. There's all kinds of theory. I've just observed it. I've been teaching mindfulness for 30 years now. When we come together in a group with the intention of learning our awareness, becoming more peaceful, becoming more loving, we all have more experiences of our own, and it feels more powerful in us. So yes to that. I'm also with Jung, Carl Jung, the psycho dude, who believed in collective consciousness. So that's my personal take on of that belief, that as we sit here in peace and look at what's going on in Gaza, Iran, And instead of sending hatred, which would only fuel more hatred, and there's enough of that, I can look, and as Anna just mentioned, they know not what they do. The perpetrators are victims of their unconsciousness. They don't know love. They don't know what that is in them. And so they do these horrible things, but because I don't hate them for being hateful, I can send them, wake up, friend, wake up. Your life will be better. You'll get the peace, the safety. So I believe in the collective effect, and of course in the Christian we call that prayer. That I wish you well. I want you to wake up and stop being a jerk. But the point being, because I believe it goes out in the collective whatever of humanity, I believe that's why prayer has a power. And just my take on things. But
I thought that was interesting because you're comparing the personal self-awareness to a group self-awareness, and I always find that, and I think it's something that happens often. We can be out and meet someone that's like-minded that we didn't, it's a stranger at a library or something.
yeah,
And something
you just light up.
and you can feel it. It's like
Yeah.
it's palpable. Same way like tension can be palpable in
Mhm.
the room, and I feel, the way the world works, like you mentioned, we're just very productive.
Mm-hmm.
That's what we're indoctrinated to be, and it's like when you remove that need to constantly, because everything is in this system to create money,
Mm-hmm.
which leads to our survival, and it's like
Mm-hmm.
when you remove that motivation of I need to make money, I'm doing all of this just to make that money, then I feel like those moments happen.
Mm-hmm.
And that's a big reason why I feel so good here, and in general why I've been searching for so long, because it's, I like working.
Mhm.
I like doing those
Yeah.
things, but I don't want to do it for $1, and then again, it's, every time I come here and we do these things, it feels wonderful, and I feel like in this world, we've lost that because we're so busy on trying to make the money.
And that's our purpose.
Yeah.
Is to
By
keep
design.
a majority of slaves at the grindstone.
Yeah, I believe that as well.
Yeah. So I'm gonna turn off the live stream now, and then if there's any more personal